What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. It is your old pal, Lavender440, and today I'm going to be talking about something called WordPress. WordPress is another content management system, very similar to Grav, the one that I discussed last week, but there are a few key differences which I'm going to tell you about today. Normally, while I did this video, I would show you my Grav site to compare and contrast the two, but as you can see, I have been having some issues pulling it up, so today we're just going to strictly stick to WordPress, unfortunately. But here we go. So WordPress is another content management site like Grav, but it is a lot more known and it's a lot more popular. Large corporations use WordPress for a lot of their content management purposes, which gives it a little more fame, and there's a lot more community support based around it. That's one good thing about it. One thing I really like about WordPress that I did not have the option to with Grav is that while you edit it, you can actually edit it the way that someone viewing the site would see it. As you can see here, this is the site I just made. All these little blue dots are where you can make changes yourself. And this is exactly how someone visiting my site would see it. So it gives you the ability to kind of see the changes you're making as you're doing it, and you can make quick changes as well. This is how someone would see my site outside of the editor. As you can see, it's pretty much shot for shot. Another thing I really like about WordPress that Grav did not really offer is that you can put in your own themes to start out, and this can be really helpful for new users like me. I've never made a website before outside of Grav, and they didn't have starting templates that were as nice and neat as these. I picked, I believe, 2017, so I'll let you see what that looks like. And this is the format that 2017 automatically had for me. So I didn't have to do anything with these menu bars. This was already here. Picture was up at top, although I did switch the picture out, but that can be easily done for new users too. WordPress also offers plugins that Grav did not. Additional plugins that you can download to kind of customize the user experience. I downloaded the classic editor because I did not like how WordPress was in its most current version, but you can revert back to older customization methods. Unfortunately, WordPress isn't perfect, like any software. Because it's a lot more popular, it does get targeted more by malicious hackers. And there is a feature of WordPress where it is constantly updating itself, which makes it a lot easier for people to hack and make malicious attacks against it. Another thing WordPress doesn't really have going for it that I believe Graph did was that outside of those pre-made templates, it's a lot harder to customize your own site without using these. So you do kind of get shoehorned into these formats that they want you to use. Unless you really know your way around the site, then there is the option to customize. Grav, on the other hand, is not as popular, but it does have a large GitHub community. So there is some kind of outreach you can find to troubleshoot any kind of issues. Although Grav does have a much more steep learning curve. Like I said, it does not offer these kind of templates. So you really are more on your own when starting. And it's much less popular than WordPress, so it really does not have the kind of support or like financial support specifically behind its uh, production. Though, because Grav isn't as popular, it does have better security. It doesn't do the same thing that WordPress does, where it's constantly updating itself. So it's a lot harder for malicious attackers to get into. I would say the main difference between the two is the security and the fact that if you know your way around Graph, you can probably do more. I would say WordPress is more of like a starter software for people that want to get into building websites. This is a good way to, learn about the whole process and get into it. So if I had to recommend to my company which one I would use, it would definitely be to start with WordPress, just because you can make more professional looking sites like mine without really having to know too much about it. But that is just my preference. I'd let you guys use them both and decide for yourselves. Well, that's all for today. Thanks for listening. Like and subscribe, and go make some sites.